Hasn't been spotted yet. He's going to give up this first spawn of Scuttle. He's going to turn into Tien getting the topside Scuttle instead. But they're continuing to put pressure here, and maybe Shadow looks for something. He does have the bowling ball.
Relatively healthy on the bottom lane here. Though. Yeah, I don't. This is going to be tough. Let's see what Hong can do here. Headbutt over eyes. Zhui going to go down.
Oh, God.
Ends up taking a lot of damage, but the turret does so much here. It is a double kill for the Misfortune and a well-played dive by the Weibo bottom lane.
Yeah, Weibo played that incredibly. I mean, the fact that they're able to survive, it is Hong missing out on missing out on a lot of golden experience. He is down 20 CS right now in his lane matchup, but by getting those 2 kills, it's only 100 gold. That's a massive win for them.
Just really, really poor, and it feels like FPX made a play just for the sake of making.
And that's also going to be an advantage going over to Tien. He got access to his first set of respawn Raptors there, so he gets first say onto his camps. He took his recall and already has the Tunneler. Not as impactful as an item like a Faded Ashes coming in from the Lilia, but it's those small things, man. It's that timer to say, okay, look, as the Nefiri, I get to do an extra jungle camp while Shadow is in the bottom lane and not really farming the rest of his jungle. I can now even start on this Gromp here. And instead of going and continuing to pressure for this dragon, we're seeing right now that Weibo's bottom lane have immediately moved up into the top side. They're going to try to oppress this Scion, but it's going to be free dragon going over to FPX as Tien thought maybe he could try to look for something.
You know, I could almost feel like MOBA Trainer popped up, you know, when they went for like that. Shadow was like, decision time. Dive bot lane, recall, buy your Faded Ashes, or, you know, do something else. And I think there's something else, Tien. I think a little bit chippy there. 1v3, and will rightly lose his flash.
On one hand, I think you can make an argument to 2 separate camps. Respawn Scuttle, and again, his 3rd Raptors of the game. That's very good for this Nefiri at this point.
Yep, we'll see what kind of consequences we have of not having flashes. Hung, they're full court press Shadow and force the flash out of him, so all of a sudden these junglers without flashes, many flashes getting burnt here, as Weibo sent 4 to the mid lane to take this plate.
Xiaohu had just used his ultimate onto Care, put him at like a quarter HP. Hung could have hex flashed over and potentially ignited. It's unfortunate for Weibo that there were more members around that play, because that could have potentially been the feats of strength going over to them. But they use the priority of this Misfortune we talked about during draft, the amount of movement speed you get access to.
Right. Yeah, Zhui's just on the wrong side right now. Here comes Tien to go take him down. Does have the reset. Doesn't look like he'll go for anything more here, although Xiaohu is coming through. On the side, no shockwave means that he'll just make his presence known, clear out this pink ward. 30 seconds until these grubs are up. You can see Weibo making recalls here. See if Shadow can disrupt any of them. Won't be able to. It'll be big. We'll see where Weibo...
If they're winning every skirmish, as FPX, you are kind of saying, okay, well, we might be stronger on 2 items, but, like, it's pretty tenuous. We're also not going to hit our spikes as early as some of our opponents.
All right, first scrub down. Second rubs are getting done. Tien, the rest of the Weibo walking in, but quickly walking out. So good secure here for FPX. It's going to be in the hands of Care. We talked about last game how Care really didn't make his impact known. The guy who has struggled a ton. See what he can do this time around.
Only like 4,000 people saw that. At least here.
Oh, wait.
And I don't think this is anything. This is them just fighting for mid priority right now, as Weibo feeling very good about their spot. It's only 500 gold, but right now, this Misfortune, she has say on the mid wave. This is going to be them being able to put down Vision, even fade into Fog of War, and continue to get camps. Big focus in this game is going to be our junglers here, playing 2 champions that require a lot of gold, typically scale very well with that gold and experience, as Tien is getting closer and closer started on them. They will have their mid laners teleport for this play. Hung still in a massive flank, and nobody from FPX knows that he is here.
All right, teleport is showing up. Here's Care. The teleport's coming through as this dragon kind of losing its patience a little bit here, but not a full reset yet. Oh, resets for a hot moment. Is he gonna get in there? No. And then he gets knocked up. They knocked up again. He's got to go invulnerable. Flash over the wall. Zhui Shear in the back line. They find the kill. Fade Seal. Gonna land on a just Hung. But who is going to sleep? We put Breathe to sleep. The full time coming through. Not doing a whole lot of Shear. Looking for a little bit more, but it looks like they won't get it. Just a simple 1 for nothing. But FPX securing their second dragon.
Shout out from Hung. That flash actually just saved Light's life entirely. And a lot of summoners there used by Weibo. So a fight that they probably shouldn't have taken, knowing that they...
The game without much issue here. As FPX keeping the game even in gold by doing that. It's kind of difficult to do that. Oftentimes you'll see teams just be like, hey, we're going to give up this objective, we'll take gold elsewhere. But that has not really been Weibo's MO.
Oh, awesome.
Getting a nice engage here, but because he used the Valkyrie, that means that Tien will be able to come in. The dogs are barking.
Why?
And he flashes too. That's not great.
We could have flashed at least one of the Darkened Daggers, maybe set up for our play. He traded both of his summoner spells. He chunked out Light, which he thought, hey, like, this is a timer. She's walking up on the wave. I don't know where their enemy team is. This is a fantastic time to pull up an awesome graphic. Just way too aggressive, and now Weibo gets to make this play onto Care.
Okay. Oh, Care flashes too. Tap on it against the wall. And it looks like with Hung being able to tank things up, the shockwave getting used, Weibo making some quick plays in solo lanes.
Well, FPX just tried to push their advantage and then immediately blew it everywhere. Weibo now, they get to take another top lane wave here that no one's going to answer. Care's not up for another 15 seconds, so with Herald...
Take a couple victories at the end of the split here and use that momentum in the play-ins and maybe look like the team that we expected them to be. Sure, it's a work in progress, but it is progress.
It's something. It's at least upward movement for the time being. So... we're sitting here. Herald has now spawned. Tien got to farm an entire extra full set of camps on the bottom side. Breathe can teleport if he wants to, but they're already late for this play, so they're going to have to do this after the objective is taken.
5,000, 4,000, 3,000, getting lower. Tien wants a piece of things, not going to get it. He does get hit by the bowling ball. It looks like Weibo, their engage is stymied here. A teleport coming down onto the mid-turn. It is going to be the Scion, so it looks like Sheer won't really be in too much danger. It does mean that the mid-tier 1 falls.
That's really well played from Weibo. I think they did a fantastic job. Now they have feats of warfare or feats of strength
here. So it looks like Weibo are willing to allow FPX to get themselves on Soul Point. Maybe they want to make a play in the bottom lane first here. They're at least clear out the wave. They're going to use the bowling ball. They're going to use the Rift Herald too. Breathe is on an island right now. It's going to be a 4v1. Hung has come through. He's a little too far away. The turret will fall. All out, taking him over the wall, the headbutt too toward the teleport.
No!
Awesome trying to get out of there, and he'll fall to Breathe. The bull time does get canceled. Teleport coming in, and Weibo all of a sudden have a man advantage. And the Dragon is started by them. Shadow going to chase down Hong. He has a nice flash. He's going to get put to sleep. Just him. Shockwave coming through.
Oh,
it doesn't stop Wave for the moment as the Fate Seal comes through as well. And Breathe is going to get melted. No, he gets shielded and finds a way out. But Shadow always looking for more. On the backside, Tien trying to get it done in a 2v1 here. While Xiaohu finds Shadow. Light is still standing. And now Tien going to set his sights on Shui. Hits him with the Darkened Daggers. Looking for a little bit more. The second dagger doesn't quite land, but Rel is very slow right now. Care trying to make it to the blast plant, and Jue says, I'm sorry, my mid laner. I'm going to survive here. A double kill on the back end for Light, a dragon for Weibo, and the game falls apart for FPX.
And Weibo might have just completely owned this series from this point. Getting themselves a dragon, now with 4 members going down for a single kill, that is an incredibly worthwhile trade. We start
up 1,500 gold just about. Remember the early game that he had? I mean, that dive where he got 2 kills absolutely kept him in it from a situation that could have been uncomebackable. But now this misfortune is just so damn strong even with the auto attacks.
I mean, look at him. Yeah, Spirit Shojin, he literally doesn't care. He's like, I'm not actually here to kill you as a Scion. We're just looking to trade turrets on the opposite side of the map. The problem that I have with this from FPX, they were a team that we said from draft, your spikes on 1 and 2 items, especially for like a Lilia, a Yone, especially awesome with his 2 items, is going to be very strong. But if you're behind that curve, if you're not really kind of matching or trying to put your opponents behind, they're down 3,000 gold, and Weibo are having some of those. 22 minutes, you have 2 items. You really need to be able to find a win here. Now, even with that Seeker's Arm Guard that you did spot out, will mean that he's a little bit more survivable, but you look at how they take space, right? We talked about this with their draft. When you have a Cassante and Alistar, they can just move in, take control of any area that they want, and then you have an Orianna to just say, look, you ever walk into this chokehold, you die. If you walk into this spot of the map, you die. Tien needs to be very careful.
All right, trying to put him to sleep. Oh, he's going to get caught by the Fate Seal. Nobody's around to save him. And the kill goes over to Shadow. The Otacon has been started up. What? Weibo, they can still scrap a little bit. Looks like they might have a split focus here.
No, they're going to get pushed up. Yeah, they can't contest this. Like, there's literally nothing for them to play for. Now they have to play from a really awkward choke here.
Right, they're still going for it. Maybe an opportunity for Zhao to do something big. Jue goes in and goes down. Now Breathe on the backside. He's going to force the flash out. It's a 44, but Hung is going to run out of his ultimate real soon. And he's going to get real squishy once again. outs the Dragon down to about 9,000 HP, but Weibo want a piece of this right now.
Ooh,
Xiaohu is ready to make a play. Let's see it. Xiaohu shockwave going down and only lands on Sheer. And here comes Shadow. The flash is forced out as Care managed to get over the wall with that Q3. Both objectives going to FPX.
Now, I know we're going to get a replay of this. I hope so from our observers, and I hope that they show Tien Dragon on their side. So they're at soul point here, and that's the kind of, again, another Ocean Soul. That could be a win condition for them to come back into this game.
Yeah, get ready to learn MOBA Trainer, Tien. But yeah, Ocean Soul this game, much more of an impact than it would have had in the last game because we don't really see that crazy Weibo scaling. They have really solid team fight, sure, and good burst from the Orianna, but it would require Light to hit a really sick bullet time. But we haven't really seen that happen yet. He's not getting too many opportunities to actually set his feet to do so. You see a teleport from the top side. Weibo hanging around. Looks like they might need to try to breathe out. He doesn't get knocked up, and he does get chunked pretty hard.
I think right now what Weibo should be doing is prioritizing getting gold and CS onto Xiaohu, making sure that he gets level 16. He has a full level lead over his opponent right now, and level 16 means you get 3rd rank into that shockwave. And if his entire goal right now is we're just going to try and one-shot someone with this, I think that's a perfectly fine tool for you to be looking for. And Weibo, they have first track into mid lane. It was a pretty big investment coming in from FPX to try to defend their mid-tier 1, or top 1 tier 1. Now they get the flash. They traded flash from Hung onto Care. I think they'll take that.
Okay, but Hung's going to get knocked up on the backside here multiple times. In fact, he's still really thick, but he's not able to wait himself out. Shockwave only lands on 1, but it's a good buffer from Care. He slides out. Light dies on the side. Multiple members of Weibo are sleeping now. They're getting corralled like sheep. Tien has to flash over the wall. Breathe is starting to bleed out on the other side. Corki got a 2nd kill. And this is a huge win for FPX as they will find 3 and they will head to the Baron.
Well, that fight around the Dragon may have just equalized this entire thing, because now they win another fight, and like you said, Baron on the cards. Xiaohu and Tien, masterful duo that we got to see come to fruition here on Weibo for 2025. Now need to make magic happen around this Baron.
Let's see it happen. Xiaohu has the damage, though, and they're getting corralled. Trying to get on to Xiaohu, but they end up setting their sights on Tien. Remember, the shield's going to be a little bit bigger, too, because Tien managed to find Shui, and they forced them off. It was a really smart teleport from Xiaohu, and Weibo Gaming hanging tough, not letting this go. And now they're going to take the blue buff, too, as FPX are forced completely off. Sheer is tanky, but he still takes a lot of damage from Xiaohu.
Damn, they stopped them on the Baron. They might even be able to start this themselves. Misfortune's coming on through.
They're burning
Teleport's
TP. Yeah, here we go.
FPX, they stayed too much time on the map. It should have been their recall, and a masterful gambit from the mid-jungle duo of Weibo now grab themselves a masterful objective.
Yeah, they thought they would be able to win the 5v2. They said, we don't care about Xiaohu's teleport. But again, it's this really powerful Orianna. The Baron's going to fall, and Hung is about to go on to Care and make this a problem. Here we go, locked on is Tien, and Care will go down. Another nice pick as Weibo thrust themselves back in a winning spot.
They're going to also take this top lane tier 1. Good bounce back coming in from Weibo, not getting dragged down into some of the mistakes that are coming in. And this Baron buff is going to last the entire duration, plus some, for this dragon spawning in a minute. FPX, they need to make this next play count. They're going to be down summoner spells. They're going to be missing out on some of their ults for the time being. But they need to make this Dragon Soul work. Otherwise, this game just completely snowballs in the opposite direction for Weibo.
Yeah, I think what you have to do is you have to give your lives for it, but no more than 2. I think if you give too much away, you might not even be able to play for the next Dragon after this one if you don't secure it. So I want to see Shadow, I want to see Shui get in the face of Weibo, muscle their way in there, and try to get Shadow to land the smite onto this Dragon in 15 seconds.
All right, so Weibo now trying to set up around this. It is all vision here for the side of Weibo on the red. We see this vision on the top side. Now it's all over this for FPX. The only way they can see them is that single control ward and the scuttle. Right now, None and Shadow trying to do something. That was the Storm Surge proc. That's not even the entirety of Xiaohu's kit being dropped onto Dwayne. He's already half HP.
Yeah, it's QW. Remember, Orianna real powerful at this stage of the game right now. 7,000, 6,000 HP as he's hunting around. You can see Shadow getting chunked out too. It's going to be so hard. They're going to get on to Xiaohu here. And Xiaohu with a nice snappy flash. He is going to be put to sleep, but he's in a really safe spot. He does get knocked up down to half HP. Sheer trying to do his thing in the pit as the dragon gets lower, but Shadow can't get close. It's a zoning bullet time, and it's a secured dragon for Weibo Gaming, and now they're going to look for Awesome next as Tien is in the thick of things, and they will take out the AD carry. They will take out Shui. Shadow will go golden, but he'll fall all the same. 4-0 for Weibo.
Thick of it, and everybody knows Weibo is absolutely smashing here. They're going to break their 6 series losing streak, and they're going to potentially now end the game 2-0 up in the series.
The skid is over. They have finally gotten off the slide. Now let's see what they can do moving forward. They will cap this game off with an ace. They will win a game that, yes, again, wasn't completely clean, but they had some really nice plays. I think their use of